Awesome, well done. So sick, that was groovy as. So cool. So folks, do yourselves a favour, that is Mel, Glenn and Tree. They are super massive. Get into them, be massive, have a bit of fun with these guys. Can't wait to see them do some mad gigs in the new year. And we'll go and have a chat on the couch shortly about what they're up to. So let's take it over the couch, guys. You. Here we go, folks. Rightio, we're heading back over here. A bit of a chat again. Now this time I'll see if I can get it to be a bit more. Big T, what's that about there? Ooh. Warm up there. Warm down here too.
Yeah.
It's all good, but we'll get it right.
Every gig was like that.
Just right, one song.
Yeah, one song, sit down, have a chat.
Yeah, and go again.
Another song. I like that.
I don't know, you kind of cool down in between. Oh my God, there's another moth. I love it.
It's moth country.
There's beasts.
Beverage anybody, or are we all good?
I've got one.
I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good.
This is nice.
Yeah, they're not a bad drop, the old Cooper's Dry. They taste pretty tasty, I reckon. Goes okay.
Yeah.
They're actually one of the very few companies actually are preservative free, and I actually really like that. So you don't wake up in the morning with a headache if you've had too many, but you should drink and drive responsibly.
The green pale ale's a nice beer too.
Yeah, it is.
It's beautiful.
I like the ale. Goes all right. We had a few of those out here. Only on the weekend, Cooper's gladly provided us with a few sneaky kegs for a bit of a private function, which was absolutely awesome. So very good. Yeah, good on them. It's always cool. Good bit of fun. Alrighty, I suppose, gigs, guys. New year, things are moving and shaking and moving on. Where are we heading and what are we doing?
Yes, gig at
Duke's Parlour.
Yep.
At the Island.
Yep.
Surfers Paradise on the 4th of January, Saturday the 4th.
Excellent.
Yeah. Hopefully more after that.
We're trying to twist the arm of Miami Marquetta at the moment.
Yeah, I'd love
as
to play
well.
there.
Yeah, that would be a great venue for you guys. I think that would really draw a big crowd. We could get a real bit of a disco rock night, in a place like that. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I could see that happening real well.
Yeah.
We did speak to Home of the Arts, Graham Ashton recently.
Oh, yeah.
Was keen to do a single launch there, so hopefully we can line it up for our next single.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's a really good
Because I
venue
love,
too.
Home of the Arts is unreal.
Yeah.
The Gold Coast.
Yeah.
It's,
And Last Night on Earth, you've played there a few times. It's a sneaky little
Yes.
intimate venue, isn't it?
yeah, that place is good fun. It's a great bar with great people there.
Yeah.
In Southport. I've done some gigs there.
that was nice little.
It's funny, the last time we played there, they wrote on their Facebook, strap in for the ride. Because I think a lot of the time they have sort of more straight funk bands there.
Yeah,
we play on the Saturday night funk night, but of course we're like the crazy slamming disco funk.
Disco
We're not
funk
just
rock,
normal, generic funk.
Especially with you on the drums, you're just like tubbing it and just boots and smashing.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's such a small room. I think it's not really a venue as such. You know what I say? Not rubbishing the venue, but it's like a bar.
Yeah.
And you sort of make do with the space you got.
Best, yeah.
But it's kind of fun to sort of get back to that sometimes, and just sort of it's kind of pretty raw, and you just people are just half a metre away from you. It's pretty good fun.
Yeah, people just come up and have a bit of a dance. And
Yeah. It is good, and usually when most punters behave themselves and they're pretty good, you sort of. You don't mind that, everyone's like, oh yeah, let's get a picture with these guys, it's awesome, I love that. That's
You haven't had anyone that's been a pain in the ass yet.
Really weird people or anything.
No.
Not outside the band anyway.
You got something to say, Trey?
Oh no, they've seen my glove. They've seen my...
Oh God, where's the glove? That was going to be...
Actually, I did see that on your Facebook. I wanted to ask you about the glove, so do tell what's going on with the...
It doesn't look like Michael Jackson.
It's not a Michael Jackson. It's got the fingers in it.
Like
it's a full. It's a full. It's I don't even know what it is. I got
It looks like a welding glove, like you're going to do some welding or
like some
something.
sort of construction or like dishwashing or something. I don't know. But
No, it's like it's black and it really looks like you're going to be lifting some jewelry or something. Like,
The Black Panther.
or serial killer. Like,
yeah, no, there's really not too much of an interesting story behind it, you know.
We used to call it years ago a posh wank. I mean, you touch your own Johnson, you know what I mean? So you put a glove on. It's,
I've just got a single lane on my arm.
Is that safe masturbation or what? I would put a glove on so I don't get that
I
on.
don't know where I've been.
Nothing wrong with that, mate.
Keep it in the glove.
You like protection, mate. It's fine, you know.
Better be safe than sorry.
That's it, yeah.
That's probably why, you know, years ago when you used to, it was such an insult to slap someone with your gloves for a jewel because you're jacking off on that thing and hit the face with it.
The modern day version, you just slap someone with a condom.
I challenge you to a duel. Too funny. I actually thought it was like Darth Vader's glove. Or no, the one that Luke Skywalker had to wear when he got his hand cut off in Star Wars.
oh, look, it's just
It's
inspires all sorts of thoughts.
it's a never-ending story, that glove.
And it's quite smooth, like to use on the.
Yeah, it's
so-
So yeah, so you can actually play guitar in it quite easily.
It's microfiber, so it doesn't get caught on strings or nothing like that. But it's purely like a
So it's like an Ennio glove.
yeah.
Yeah.
It feels nice when you're not.
Yeah, it's it's you know what do they call it? Bloody all size fits one or whatever. You know,
One
Like,
size fits all. Yes.
All for one for all.
Yeah.
Bloody. Yeah, no, it's just a compression glove. You know, it helps keeps my sweat off the strings. Keeps you know, just it's a bit easier on my fingers after playing for a few hours, all that sort of thing. But yeah, brought it to the rehearsal studio the other day, and I forgot I didn't even mention it to them, and I just booked it on. They're like, "What the hell's that?"
Oh, surprise! I just come out of the bathroom.
Got everyone locked in the studio with me now.
It's hard to, it's like, you know, it'd be like walking out of the room and then walking back the room, you got like a full beard on your face. And you're like, where'd you get that from?
Come on, take it off. You're just joking, aren't you?
There's a story about that thing.
Can't sort of just hide that so easy.
Yeah. So no, it's always fun and games.
The love glove. The tree with the love glove. Because it just popped up about the glove and then...
And I liked the nice little filter you had on there too, like of those little studio photos you did of us, because you had like a little Nokia or whatever it was.
Filter. I always use the same filter.
Nice watermark on
It's
there.
just the same one.
It looks professional. You know?
That's my favourite one.
It looks good.
I just have to tweak it a little bit.
Yeah, no, that's right. No. Get the good sides, get good lighting.
Yeah.
That's correct.
I don't go to too much fuzz with the socials. Just chuck that same filter on, they'll do.
Slap and forget. That's it, I'm done.
Yeah.
Next
Oh,
one.
God.
Next
Yeah,
one.
the preset settings.
I mean, you guys are cool like that though, but you've been known to dress up. I've been following you a bit on the old Facebook and what have you, and you know that picture of
Ghosting us?
I was ghosting you a little bit. I know it's a little bit illegal, but you know I've got to do a bit of research before you come in on the show, so you know you've got to get into that. So it's all cool. But I suppose one thing that I would say is that. You know, seeing the pictures that you guys put up of like, you know, you guys with all your hair done in like blonde or white colours, and then you know, and then you're dressed in Mel's dressed in so many different costumes. I think I've seen you in like probably 20 outfits
Well,
now.
I always have to make a new one all the time.
Yeah, you did. You made this one. Tell us a bit about that.
Right, yeah. Well, there isn't a
Because
whole
you're
lot to
special,
tell.
sugar.
It's
Thanks,
just that I
man.
wanted to have something special to come on my show.
Excellent.
So I saw this fabric, I hadn't seen it before,
Yeah.
and it flips. You could, I don't know.
And it changes. Like when you
does
walk
sort of
around, it
change
like
colour.
moves colours and tones
Yeah.
everywhere. It's really cool.
Anyway, I've
Did you individually have to like put the sequins on there, or do you just get like a sheet of sequins? Like, how does that work?
it's just a show.
Just a sheet of sequins.
Although, yeah, I'm just imagining how many millions of hours it would take.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
But,
Like threading each fucking
Yeah.
little.
Little piece in
So
there.
but it's really hard to sew. That's the thing. Like sequins are a real bastard to sew.
I mean,
and I bet
I
my
can't-
needle it was like almost a right angle.
I can barely dress myself, let alone like craft a shirt.
You craft.
Oh,
some
come on,
crafts.
Tree,
Or-
look at
or
ya.
Your mum helps
Oh, you can
Well,
barely dress yourself. You got a matching
Destiny's Child.
necktie with your
Destiny's Child.
legs.
His mum helps with his.
Mama's child.
But
Mama's
she
joy.
does great outfits.
No, I do. I pinch a lot of my mum's clothes, funnily enough.
Yeah, no.
She's had to go and start buying him some of his own blouses.
Yeah.
He was knocking them off.
Too much,
Yeah.
too much
Yeah.
pinching of her stuff, you know. I mean, it doesn't work because I'm much taller than she is, so you
Yeah.
know, wrong sizes to share clothes
So
and
she's
all
got
that
to
sort
do
of
the
stuff.
midriff look.
Yeah, that's right.
So do you have to like hold the bottom of your skirt down when you bend over? You know, like, oh, sorry.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
The way it all started, Choco, is that we just had this rule between us for the
Yeah.
band that you would not be wearing jeans and a black t-shirt in this
Yeah,
band.
cool.
This is not
Yeah.
going to be just, you know, it's got to have an element of glam to it.
Yeah.
Because, you know, part of our roots is in glam rock as well.
Yeah.
And we just like things to be larger than life. And
Yeah.
so, yeah.
At the very least, if someone doesn't like listen to us or something like that, you know, they can walk past and we can visually entertain them. You know?
Look at these guys, they're awesome.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's
So,
exactly right.
yeah.
It's a
Bit of
very
Liberace.
British thing, actually. I remember seeing a thing recently on, I think it was talking about Elton John was talking about it. It was on, a special was on like about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And he mentioned that. He says, oh, you know, when he went overseas, he said that no one went to that level of you know,
Effort.
of effort to sort of dress. He said there's a very sort of theatrical British thing to do, you know.
Yeah.
And, you know, a lot of those bands that came around years ago, it's what we were talking about before, trying to grab your attention, you know.
Yeah.
Like, there's, you know, there's plenty of guys who just do, you know, each to their own, I suppose, but just,
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of bands just, you know, black t-shirt, jeans. And
Yeah.
It's, you know,
And you're like,
kind of
again,
one blends.
other
You
one.
don't really feel like
Yeah.
you're in costume when you're just wearing, you feel like, yeah.
I actually-
For a roadie.
There is one band that's heading around on the Gold Coast, and the chap in this band wears a wetsuit on stage.
Ah, I wonder who that guy is.
Yes, so,
It's not me.
They'll be,
Do you know? I'll tell you, I will tell you a funny story. So the story behind the wetsuit was that it was a 1972 Moonboom Masters wetsuit that one of my uncles wore, and he was the anchor man on the bottom of the ski with the A-frame of people above him on his shoulders.
yeah.
And it was in his cupboard in his shed, and I said, "Oh, can I have that?" And he's like, "Yeah, of course you can, Sugar. You can have it if you want. You know, sweet." So, of course, you know, I grabbed it, and about a year later, I didn't know what I was going to do with it at the time. About a year later, I was doing an Australia Day show down at the local village, Glen, down the Mornington Peninsula, and we were down there doing the show, and it was all Australian songs. So we were going to do the Stevie Wright, the 3 parts, and the middle part was sung by somebody else from another band. So it was like a collective of all local bands together to do this show. And you come on and off, it was like a Christmas Carol type thing, and you come up for the day, and it was Australia Day.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, why not? It's blue, white, and red. I could like wear an Aussie flag, and I'll just, I don't know where the plastic helmet with the Viking horns came on. But long story short, I jumped up there, and they didn't know it was coming. So I'd worked all week at home in the garage, and I'm putting on the wetsuit, and I'm trying to time it. And I've got 45 seconds to get this thing on, and then run back up the stage and grab the microphone and get into it, because there was no cordless microphone. You just ran up and grabbed it. So I'm in a suit. So I've left the stage, nicked off. This guy's singing his bit, and he's doing all the quiet, all the quiet part. And then next thing you know, up I come, grab the thing in a wetsuit and horns. And I didn't realise what I created. There was like 3,500 people at this joint, and it was packed. And I walked up and I just grabbed the microphone and I just went, "Before I knew it, I was king of the world." And it just went off. The people were just like, "What? Yes, who's this crazy guy that's just come on?" They didn't even realise it was me. And I went and got changed. And I just put a pair of sunnies on and the helmet, the wetsuit, and the flag around my neck. And then from that day forth, the boys in my band, Uncle Unit, were like off to the side watching, because they weren't involved. They had me up there. And they're just like, "That's it. From now on, you have to wear that. Every time we play, you're wearing that." And I'm like, "Dude, do you know how hot it is in that?"
Yeah.
It was 34 degrees, and I'm up there for one song, and I was done. And so it stuck. And then all these years later, it still pops out every now and again when we do a gig, and it's a fun,
Correct me if
fun
I'm
thing
wrong.
to do.
Back then, weren't they called originally called not a wetsuit, but like a frogman suit back then?
Ooh, I don't know.
I think they were like
that does ring a bell, actually.
I think they call them like a frogman suit. And that was the
Frogman
one
suit.
that had like the
right.
beaver tail thing where it sort of
No. Yeah, I think the frogman thing is like the French divers. It has to be
Right.
involved with that, where they.
Yeah.
Clearance. I don't know. It might be like clearance divers. You know, used to.
Front zip or back?
But
I got no
do you
idea.
have-
No, this one doesn't have a zip. This is like basically you drag it on and you pull out. It was called Le Pants.
Le Pen.
So yeah,
Oh, so it
like
does
you
sound
know,
very
it was like
frightening.
Le
It's
Specs, Le
français.
Pants. You know, it was like
But Chuka,
Yeah.
tell us the truth. Have you ever just thought, oh, I can get away with not going to the toilet? I can just,
Just like
you know,
rubbish.
people.
Well, you know what the really funny
Just-
part? Do you know what the really funny
Yeah,
part
that's-
about that is that you're sweating that much. It doesn't matter how many cans you drink. It just keeps coming
I
out.
thought maybe it was like, oh, well, I
But it's never been
no,
washed.
no.
It's never been washed.
wow.
I think I've done
Oh.
well over 500 shows and it's never been washed.
How does it work with like a wetsuit? Because it's, I mean, I'm guessing to some extent stops you from getting wet.
Yes.
But what if you're getting wet from the inside? Does it seep out? Like if you're sweating, if
No.
you're getting all,
No.
all just sort of
No, you
bruising
pour it off and it just pours out all over the ground.
Okay,
Yeah, it's pretty
So
brutal.
you're sort of
Yeah.
marinating.
Yeah, marinating my own juices, my own
Yeah.
chook juices.
I had an outfit once. I had an outfit in a bag once.
Yeah.
And I had like, I was playing in New York and had a week off.
Yeah.
And I forgot to take my costume out of my gig bag.
Yeah.
And then when it came time to come to the gig, I thought, oh God, where's that costume? I thought, oh shit, it's still in the bag from the last gig. And when I took it out, it smelled like Parmesan cheese. So bad. And people in the venue.
Wasn't that the night you met?
I met Lisa Hunt.
Lisa
you know,
Hunt?
who-
Yeah, Lise, yeah.
She was at the venue at this bar. It was like an L shape. I was trying to order a drink before I went on, and she just looked at me. She goes, "Woo!" She goes, "You have got the disco fever." And I absolutely stunk. Like she saw me from across the bar, and it was rancid. It was so bad. I was so embarrassed.
The disco fever.
Yeah.
On a way to meet somebody.
Yeah.
You didn't think to run in the bathroom, just wet it and
Nah.
make it all.
No, it was playing in a strip club in New York.
Oh,
It was
loose.
just- yeah. It was
Wasn't Ron Jeremy there?
No, that was in LA. It was- yeah. There was some sort of pornography element to the band that I was playing.
Yeah.
Whatever the stink was, it was welcome. It was
Add to the fabric of the night.
That's right. Another layer.
Yeah.
Oh.
It was the warning signal to stay away from this guy.
Now, still on fashion, Glenn, the pants. Come on, mate. Tell us a bit about the pants. They're
Well, I got
pretty
really-
sexy.
I got really lucky, you know. Like when we decided to start playing again, I had all the stuff that I used to wear 4 years ago, and I thought, no, I'm kind of over that, you know.
Yeah.
And I was just sort of like googling, you know, just some stuff. I thought, oh, I've got to find something new, you know. And it was funny because googling was starting to stalk me, because then it was coming up with all these suggestions, and I thought, geez, that looks all right. So it found me in a weird way. Yeah, so it was kind of weird. Remember, I said to Lynn, I said, God, they found this site and they're having an 80% off sale. Like, it costs like next to nothing. You know?
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
even delivered from America. It's just
Yeah.
like fantastic.
There's a lot of them out there, and then you
Yeah.
don't know whether they're real, fake, or indifferent. But I suppose with clothes, does it really matter?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose
Sometimes.
all you're hoping for is that when you're sort of walking, you know, to go on stage, like an arm doesn't fall off and the leg doesn't fall off. You know, you get there and you're sort of like all these threads on the ground.
Oh, hi, surprise.
Yeah.
The woodwork well in the strip club, though, that you played at.
Yes, well,
Yeah, maybe you should have got the ones that have Velcro where you can go, woo!
I had one of those too.
So then you just need that like that same
Where are
leopard
they?
print, but just undies. So that way, when you rip it off, you know, maybe bow tie and leopard skin undies.
Yeah, well, I had this. It was. I mean, for anyone who doesn't know, I was used to playing Machine Gun Fellatio, and we had this thing. They said, "Oh, we've got this great. We do this great gag. We'll have like the one of the dancers, and Krista was going to rip your shirt off you through a drum solo." And we never actually tried it at rehearsals. And I was like, "Oh, really?" You know. And they said, "Yeah." So anyhow, I was doing this drum solo. I remember the first night it happened, because it was Velcroed on, It near pulled me off the chair. Because the Velcro didn't give. I was like, like, legs are up in the air. It's just like, well, that went well, didn't it?
Malfunction.
Yeah. So it got sort of revised. But look, all those sort of gimmicky gags, the first night they always get some sort of, major
Wow
fail.
factor or fail or attention. Yeah, totally.
It's part of the excitement, I guess.
Yeah.
You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never exactly, anyway. It's always,
Well, you never know what you're going to turn up in, apparently.
yeah, it's always something different. It's always something. Talking point.
Yeah.
You know,
It's awesome. Just own it, brother.
Yeah, no, I mean, I always have. I've always been an odd egg, but it's not been until sort of more recent years that I've just sort of accepted it myself, I guess.
Yeah, owned it.
Just exactly. Like same sort of thing, like what Mum was saying before about sort of not just wanting to have everyone in like jeans and shirts sort of thing. You know, I mean, there's a time and a place just to dress comfy and dress casual. Or whatever, but I don't know. I like to be a bit loud, I guess. When
I first, like early days of meeting Tier, there was something that really struck me, and that was because he was studying. He was studying at the TAFE at Coomera.
Yep.
And we play in another band together, like just doing covers and stuff like that. And he bought these platform shoes, and they're massive.
Yeah.
They're massive. They're so huge, and they're really they're lavender, are they?
It's like a pearly.
That's right.
White.
Yeah, like a pearl white.
Yeah.
He went hard.
And
he was like, okay, we're going to kid it out.
And then anyhow, he said, I've got these new shoes. I need to probably run them in before the gig. I said, oh yeah. So anyhow, he's worn them to TAFE. and the thing was, it was one of those moments, when you kind of go, he isn't seeing all the looks that I'm seeing.
I was seeing over everyone.
He was sort of like just cruising through with these great platforms on, and they just stood out. And people kind of, they get that look on face and they kind of go. What does a guy look like who wears those? So they look at the feet and they kind of. That's what a guy looks like who wears those shoes. And he wasn't phased a bit.
No,
That's not remotely phased at all by anyone's reaction. And I thought, this guy's going to work out. Some people might just go, I'm feeling really subconscious, I'm going to get these fucking things off. Not at all.
No.
Yeah.
He owned it, yes.
Yeah.
It sort of reminds me of that, I don't know if you ever would have seen Bambi, the original Disney flick, when she's first starting to walk, and she's all slippery and stuff like that. That's what it sort of felt like walking in them shoes for the first time.
You're all over the joint.
Yeah, it's just like trying not to break your ankles. And so you
didn't really walk, you sort of glide.
It's glided.
Gliding over.
Baby, look at this. Check him out. Look at this.
It's a Bee Gees strut. It's what they're doing in their video clips. They're just
coping with their.
Was that in your head? Just staying alive?
Yeah, that's right.
You just had some music going.
Constantly. Just on loop.
It's on loop. Every time you got up, I can tell by the way I walk.
Main cause of my insomnia.
Look, I'd love to know, because Tier's is a handsome young man, and he has had some in the past some female admirers.
Yep.
You kind of wonder when when they wake up in the morning, the girl hops out of her bed or Tier's place, when they look at the shoes next to the bed, you go, what the fuck happened last night exactly?
You see these little sandals or something, and you see these just fucking
big, huge shoes.
big glittery platforms.
Oh, that's cool. Well, I'll tell you something. You're not on your own tree. My old man used to have platforms in the 70s, and they were massive. Oh, yeah, he's still got them today. Dad, if you're listening, you watch it on Facebook, as you probably are. Remember your old platforms? I found them in your cupboard. They were huge. They were a good that high. I'm telling you now. They were a fair.
He's probably sitting at home at the moment with his feet up with his platforms. Like, the hell is he talking about?
Talk about in the closet.
You know one thing, mate. One good thing about platforms, you're never going to wear the heel out.
No, never. Oh, actually, I'll tell a lie. I think he had a retread in about 1989. He had to get the back rubber put on the back of the platform, redone on it because it did wear through.
Well, if that's the case, he must have been getting towed behind a car from Sydney to Melbourne or something.
Skiing.
So wear that.
Oh man, the amount of disco girls back then and stuff. You would
Yeah, they were big in the disco. The
Yeah,
old man and mum,
yeah.
they were mad on the disco in the 70s.
Yeah, so am I. No, that's
Bit of everything though. Like you'd look at the old man's record collection. There'd be like from disco right through to Kiss and Slayer and this and that and all these different genres. And you're just like, wow, like what an upbringing. You know, depending on the mood that the old man had come home from work, and he'd be like, right, it's Friday night, disco night on, you know, or it'd be Sunday over, I'm chilling, listening to Dire Straits or, you know, whatever, you know, that was Dad. And then you have an angry Arvo and he'd be down in the shed listening to something heavy, you know, like Iron Maiden or whatever, and he'd be like, it's like,
my old man was so good at that. He was, I was lucky. I had brothers.
Just loves disco.
I had brothers who were older than me, you know. So I was lucky. I got, you know, Led Zeppelin and Bowie and all that sort of stuff back then.
Yeah.
But my dad would have like, you know, Roger Whittaker and Glenn Campbell and all this sort of. Glenn Campbell had some good songs, but it was all very. I think my mum liked disco sort of more than, you know, and Dad liked it as well. But he had Roger Whittaker was just. Nearly a jailable offence.
You're flipping through someone's record collection and there he is and you're like, ooh, that one.
No, there's no rare collectible there, mate. You're not going to be winning any friends at the record fair day with that one.
Do you know one thing I heard of the other day, which is really cool? Like, you got Blues Fest coming up again next year, and George Benson is going to be playing there.
Yeah, right.
Now, I have not heard that name in a long time.
I dig George Benson.
Yeah, my old man had his albums. I remember him.
So have I. I've still got them yet. I've got, I think it's an album called White Rabbit or something like that.
Yeah.
That he did the release, but.
Yeah.
Man, that cat has the smoothest voice.
Yeah.
And he was like a jazz guy that sort of did a bit of like disco funk.
Yeah.
And he was in his day he was a class act.
Cool cat. Yeah.
He can really. I still like turn your love around and.
I wonder how old he'd be now. He'd have to be pushing mid-70s, wouldn't he?
Probably early 70s.
Yeah, early 70s. Yeah.
You know, but
good on him. Like, to go around again and come back and play the Blues Fest in Australia. That's like sick.
Yeah,
that's random, but that's that's good.
Yeah, if you're down there.
No, I dig George Benson. He had some. I mean, some of his jazz, full-on jazz stuff goes a little bit too far, and But when he does his like more commercial stuff, and that's why it was so digestible, and people bought it, in droves back then. He was, all that stuff. Brothers Johnson.
Glenn's record collection's just unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of the most heartbreaking things. When I used to be with a record label, and they called me up and they said, "Oh, you collect records, don't you?" I said, "Yeah, I do." And they said, "Oh, we're moving, we're moving or closing down or something." They said, "We've had all the records since we've been open, since I think it was about the 50s or 60s. We used to get like promotional copies, They said, we're not allowed to sell them because they're promotional copies, so if you want, you can have them for yourself, come down." And I kid you not, it was a space, people can't see here, but this is a really large room.
Yeah.
And this whole room was just full of crates of vinyl. And they said, I looked at it, I just thought, first thing I thought, how do I take all this back in my ute? And I thought, this is all unreal. And they said, you can't take everything. They said, and I thought, well, there's no way I'm going to get through looking at everything because there's just too much here. It'll take you days. And it had to be out by, it was like, it's got to be gone by tomorrow.
Oh, God.
And so I'm sifting through and I'm finding all these great, 70s funk records and all this sort of stuff. And I said, what's happening to all this? They said, it's all getting picked up and just going to the tip, and it was all getting crushed.
No.
And some of the stuff would be so rare.
Yeah.
And, it just...
It's probably thousands of dollars hidden under.
Oh, it would have been... I mean, records now, what are they now? $30 to $50 a piece?
Yeah.
And these are original pressings from...
If they're collectible, they're worth thousands.
Yeah.
Absolutely thousands.
Yeah.
There's some pretty expensive vinyl out there these days. It's insane. There's a lot of stuff out there that's mad.
Yeah, there's a lot more people collecting these days too. Like, it's more of a getting a bit more popular, I guess, to bands are producing some vinyls and stuff.
Yeah.
Collectors are collecting them and sort of getting back into
Well, it's
fashion.
having a resurgence for
Yeah,
sure, 100%. And even to the point where this beautiful poster that's behind you here, went and saw these guys a few weeks back, and this is from the good guys from 50 Large, mad old school punk rockers. And they basically said, if you want to see us and you want our music, you got to come to our gig, and you pay $25 entry and you get a record.
Yeah.
So, and I'm like, how cool is that?
I reckon-
Like,
I reckon that-
and they're like, we're not going to release it on all the channels for 6 months or whatever until, you come to our show and you get a record, and that's the only way you can listen to it. And it was super cool. Like, what a good idea.
I mean, you mentioned it. Well,
Yeah.
I thought that's a great model to do that, because one vinyl's cool to have anyhow.
Yeah.
That'll be collectible straight away if you like the band. Because they probably did. Most people do like limited pressing of 100, 200, 300 at the most.
Yeah.
It's very always limited. So you're not like talking about CDs where people run off thousands of them. So and then you get to you can get them to sign it, and and it's a good excuse. People feel like they're getting more than just seeing just the band.
Correct.
I think that's a really good model. That.
Absolutely. That's awesome. Well, speaking of a good model, I want you guys to get up and do another song. What do you reckon?
We will.
What do you want to do this time?
We're going to swing low, are we?
Swing Low.
Yeah.
Swing low.
Alrighty, here we go, folks. This is going to be Swing Low. So do yourselves a favour. Watch this. Tell us a bit about it.
It's a bit heavier.
Yeah, cool.
This track.
Yeah.
So what do you want to say about it?
Well, Glenn wrote it with.
I don't know how far I want to go with this, because it's actually there's a very tragic tale in the end of the girl that I had written the track with had been murdered this year. I just found out.
Shit.
Yeah, so it was extremely upsetting.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's kind of weird when we sort of play it now.
Yeah.
And Melina feels it as well. You kind of feel like you got her on your shoulder.
Yeah, cool.
It's something that
She's there with you.
you feel. I don't know.
She's meant to be there with you.
Well, it's such a great song, and
Yeah.
she was. I don't know. Like Glenn said, it's hard to talk about because we're still, really.
Well, reeling
Miss her
from it.
and
Yeah,
can't
totally.
comprehend what's
Still haven't,
happened.
Booker still haven't caught the guy who
Oh my
did
God,
it.
yeah.
So
pretty
it's still kind of unresolved. But she was a really good friend of ours, and she was the singer in Glenn's old band.
Yep.
And back then, we knew her as KP.
Yeah.
And her name was Kristen Pearson, and then she later on changed her name to Cecilia Devine. So
Yep.
that's the name she was known as, in more recent years. So, the song belongs to her, but I've always loved the song.
Yeah,
And
cool.
we've actually been doing a cover of it
Yeah.
in Supermassive for years.
Excellent.
It was like the one song from the Brian Ferry Sexual Experience, which was Glenn's side project to MGF. And then Cecilia ended up singing in that band.
Excellent.
And I just always loved the song. So we used to do it as a cover anyway.
Yeah.
But now when we do it, it's a totally different.
Yeah.
I like doing it because it's still that connection to her.
Yeah. And celebrating who she was and what she's about. Yeah, totally.
Because she was so talented, like unbelievably talented, and it's all been extremely heartbreaking.
Yeah, for sure. Well, let's go and celebrate her life. Let's do it. Yes.
All right.
Rightio, you're on Music Man TV. Let's go and watch this and make it happen. One life, one shot. Let's get into it. Right. Here we are, guys. And we're going to go around here now. A few minutes to get the cameras ready, and then we'll get stuck into it. So you are here, Music Man TV behind the scenes. Thanks for looking in tonight. I appreciate everyone who's looked in at the show. We're only 3 shows deep, but we're going to have some big stuff happening next year. And what more of a way to finish off this short little stint with having Supermassive on the show and getting them stuck into what they do well, and that's entertaining the punters. So let's get in there and watch what they do. We're all about Aussie music, Australian artists. Do yourselves a favour and let's watch a bit of Supermassive, and we'll have some fun with this, eh? Let's go. Righto, I'm going to turn these around so you can see them. And here we are at the studio getting ready to get into it, and we'll turn this around when Big T's ready and we'll have a bit of fun. Oh, do you want to buy him a wetsuit?
Yeah, I need to pee that way.
Oh, too much Coopers.
Everyone, you guys all right?
Let's go.